my God, what a moron. Okay, everybody. Royce Eddings here, and I want to welcome you all to the Four Horsemen, my YouTube channel, and your ultimate destination. I'm sorry, it's an inside joke, but your ultimate destination for all things rock and roll, classic rock, with some good heavy metal thrown in. We're celebrating the legendary artists, timeless albums, and iconic anthems that defined generations, baby, generations. We cover the music you love, the stories behind it, and the history that made it happen. So thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to get over here and get the panel up, get the panel involved. So how's everybody doing?
So far, so
Doing
good.
good. Yeah.
Okay, I have an announcement to make. Okay, my good friend, Just the Facts Man, sitting adjacent to me, Conquest is the name of his horse, and Just the Facts Man just put an absolutely amazing video up from his trip to Birmingham and London, England, and it's called Summer of Sabbath. So please go to YouTube channel Just the Facts Man. And Dan, you're welcome to stick a link up to your channel, please. Please actually stick a link up.
Okay.
Just the Facts Man, Dan, and check out the Summer of Sabbath. What an amazing show, man. We absolutely loved it. I know Michael and I have both seen it, and we've talked about it, and we really enjoyed it. We would like to help promote it some more. So please, everybody, check it out. Go ahead, Dan.
There's actually an update on that too, because at the time I made the video, they had extended the Ozzy exhibit at the Birmingham Museum until January 18th. But since I made that video, they've actually extended it till September 27th. So, and there's been about 500,000 people that have gone to that
September
exhibit so far.
27th. Man, I need to rob a bank and get over there. I'd really like to see that. Anyway, that's great, Dan. I just like to get a lot of people over to see that, because I mean, how can you not like it? I mean, we're talking about, Birmingham, England, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, that whole show that we had. I mean, it's just you're gonna kick yourself if you don't go see it. So I have something down here called the vinyl threesome. So we are going to get rid of that because I have no idea what it is. Let's see. Well, I thought we were. Okay, we'll get back to that. Anyway, guys, Dawson, how are you?
Doing fantastic.
Good. Been to any new concerts lately, or shows, or?
Nope. But I'm planning on seeing Death Clock and Amon Amarth in Montreal.
Nice.
May 2nd, Montreal. So
Okay.
fingers crossed.
Totally cool. How about you, Chris? What's going on in your life?
Well, not too much. A year and a week older than I was.
A year and a week.
Yeah, I didn't mention on
happy birthday. Happy birthday.
That was last week.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I'm doing okay, I guess. Just haven't heard any bad news about my dad, so I consider that's a good thing.
Oh, no, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a great thing. I'm glad to hear that too. Yeah, I've got one friend that plays in a band. He's got a pretty popular local band. Very popular. He's got a big following, and he had a massive heart attack, and we're not really sure how well he's doing right now, but I'm really bummed about that. So anyway, we're going to get going here, and I'm going to start off with, we're going to be talking about Bob Weir, and the first thing I want to say about Bob Weir is rest in peace, brother. Bob Weir passed away yesterday, Saturday. Okay. He's a founding member of Grateful Dead, a guitarist, rhythm guitarist, passed away yesterday, January 10th, 2026, at 78 years old. He had underlying lung issues after bravely battling cancer, where he had been diagnosed with cancer in early July of 2025, but has successfully beat the cancer. He unfortunately come to pre-existing lung problems, with his family noting he succumbed to the underlying lung problems, okay? Leaving behind his wife, Natasha Weir, daughter, Monet, and Chloe, two daughters, Monet and Chloe, with the family statement sharing his peaceful passing surrounded by loved ones after his courageous fight. Okay. Heartbreaking news, really. Well, he's a founding member of Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead were formed in 1965 in Palo Alto, California, evolving from a earlier jug band, they called it, into a psychedelic rock band known for their eclectic sound, improvisational live shows, and they were kind of a jam band. They could just jam and jam and jam and jam, and a devoted fan base, also known as deadheads. The original lineup included, of course, Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, who we're talking about, Ron Pigpen McKernan, Phil Leach, and Bob Kreutzmann. Okay, so during his career with the Grateful Dead, Weir played mostly rhythm guitar and sang many of the band's rock and roll, country, and Western songs. In 1994, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Grateful Dead. And in 2024, he was awarded the Kennedy Center, or is it at the Trump Kennedy Center now, honors as a member of Grateful Dead. Okay. And, of course, Grateful Dead's genres, they're rock and roll, but they were considered rock, of course, psychedelia, jam, Americana, folk, country, blues, and rock. And I mean, who could forget the Summer of Love, 1967, San Francisco? It was Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead playing all kinds of free concerts down at the Golden Gate Park, just straight down from Haight-Ashbury. I did a tour on Haight-Ashbury and have a video on that. We've done many shows that the Grateful Dead's involved with, like Woodstock and things like that, and just some funny stories, And I tell you what, the LSD poured like water at these concerts at the Golden Gate Park. 1967 Summer of Love. Everybody played at those shows. I mean, of course, the Grateful Dead, they were kind of a, regular head. They lived in the area. They lived in the Bay Area, San Francisco. But I mean, Janis Joplin played at them. Jimi Hendrix would come up and play. Jim Morrison and the Doors would play. Everybody wanted to play. And those were free concerts. Can you imagine that? Free concerts, okay? So, all right. So he was a founding member of the Grateful Dead. After the group disbanded in 95, he performed with many, many other bands, okay? One was called The Other Ones, later known as The Dead Together, and also with former members from the Grateful Dead. He also founded and played in several other bands during and after his career with the Grateful Dead, including Kingfish, the Bob Weir Band, Buddy and the Midnights, Scarring the Children, oh God, Scarring the Children, Rat Dog, Further, which he co-led with former Grateful Dead bassist Phil Leach. In 2015, Weir, along with former Grateful Dead members Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, joined with Grammy award-winning singer, and I didn't really realize this until recently, John Mayer. They joined with John Mayer and bassist Oteil Burbridge and keyboardist Jeff Chimenti to form the band Dead and Company, which was pretty much the final band he was in. So let's get over to the panel, because I missed my panel and I want to get this conversation moving here. So Dan, are you much of a, I want to just hear from you guys on whether you're much of a fan or not. Were you much of a fan of Grateful Dead?
No, not really. I never really was. I mean, I like few of their songs, but they weren't the type of music I literally listened to. But I do realize what type of impact they had on the music history.
Right.
And what and of course, I mean, like any genre, you're going to have a group of people that's going to follow certain bands, and Grateful Dead.
That's exactly right, man.
And Grateful Dead had their deadheads that were.
Oh my God! I met a few of them along the way. They pretty much lived in their vans, were barefoot with dirty feet, and they just traveled from Grateful Dead show to Grateful Dead show.
Yeah, in fact, I've got a friend that I served in the Navy with, and he's a deadhead.
Oh, is he?
He's about 71 years old now, still a deadhead.
Still a deadhead.
Yeah.
Well, okay. How about you? Okay, I'm sorry, Dan. Go ahead. No.
He was actually, once he got out of the military, he actually became like a typical deadhead. He had a Volkswagen bus, followed the band around, and
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
just lived like a hippie for a while. But once he got married, and had kids, he settled down out on the East Coast. But
that changes everything. Damn it.
Yeah.
I went through that same thing. Hey, Dawson, how about you? Do you like the Grateful Dead at all, or?
Oh yeah, I love the Dead.
Oh, good.
I seen the Dead and Company in I think July 2016 in Clarksdale, Michigan, and got to see the man Bob Weir himself play. He's the real deal because I think it's like this the new Minglewood Blues, and he was talking about like drinking whiskey and going in the desert and talking to women. I'm like, this guy is the real deal, man.
Sounds like the movie Easy Rider.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've listened to every Grateful Dead album and just a bunch of live shows on streaming live shows and stuff.
Right. Cool. Well, I moved to California. I grew up in just outside of Las Vegas. We refer to it as Vegas because at the time no one ever heard of Henderson. Although I think they've got 1 million people now. It's really grown. But when I left Vegas, there was 170,000 people. I think they have 3 million. And Henderson had 18,000, right? So anyway, we always say Las Vegas, but it was Henderson. But you know what? It was 10 minutes out of Las Vegas. Everybody worked in Las Vegas. My parents worked in Las Vegas. My brothers and sisters. I worked in Las Vegas starting at 16 years old in the kitchens down on Fremont Street. But anyway, so we had fun. We had food fights and everything. You worked in the kitchens. One of the chefs would say, hey, man, what do you want for lunch, brother? Anything you want, I'll make it for you. I'll make it for you myself. And he's like, oh, well, hell, I'll steak, bacon, and don't forget the Sunday. But anyway, so we had fun working there. But I moved to Vegas. I moved to California from Vegas. We used to visit my cousins every year in California because that's where my dad's family migrated to from Texas, from their farm. And they settled in a farming area, Delano, California, and would go pick fruit. That's what they were, farmers. But anyway, so we went to California every summer, and we'd make the trek. We'd run around, stay with different relatives. Then we'd drive from Bakersfield all to the Pacific coast and go to the ocean and things like that. And that's when I decided I had to live in California. So as soon as I saved a whole $400, I had all the money in the world. Now I left for California. And of course, I realized I could collect unemployment once I got there. And that paid my rent. So anyway, so we had a great time. But one of the things that really, really stands out to me, okay? I mean, don't get me wrong, there were a lot of great concerts going on. We got to go see the Rolling Stones at the Long Beach Arena. I saw a bunch of shows there, at different venues in Long Beach and the surrounding areas. But one thing that really sticks out that was part of your life on a daily basis is the Grateful Dead played continuously on the radio. I mean, keep in mind, this was a time when they had all this underground channels. They had these underground newspapers telling you about, what drugs were safe and all this stuff. And, songs like Driving That Train, High on Cocaine. I mean, these were that got played 50 times a day. I'm not exaggerating. And boy, but I mean, they were speaking to, their listeners out there because, I mean, it was crazy. I'm lucky to be alive today. But anyway, so that's when I got into the Grateful Dead. I really wasn't into them at all prior to that. I don't have a lot of Grateful Dead music, okay? You guys have seen me maybe show my Led Zeppelin collection, show my Black Sabbath and Ozzy solo collection, show my Jimi Hendrix collection, which is about 25 albums strong, not counting the box sets, which go from anywhere from 4 to 8 albums. But anyway, I never had anything like that with the Grateful Dead. But what I do have, and I'm going to go ahead and just for fun, I'm going to show it right now. What I do have are all the songs I like. I recently picked up this 60th anniversary, and down here it says Grateful. It says Greatest Hits. Okay, so this is a Greatest Hits album right here, and it's got between this and the other album. There's really all the songs that I like, okay? I mean, we've got Casey Jones, Friend of the Devil is a Friend of Mine, Box of Rain, Sugar Magnolia, Truckin', down on Bourbon Street. Okay, side 2. Scarlet Begoners. It's hard to read the writing.
Begonias.
Say it again.
Scarlet Begonias.
Okay, Scarlet Begonias. Thank you, sir. Fire on the Mountain, another song that I like. Estimated Prophet and Tough of Gray. Okay, so there's a lot of would be my favorite Grateful Dead songs on there, and if they're not on there, they're definitely on here. Grateful Dead, the best of Skeletons in the Closet.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Yeah, and that includes okay. I might have to put some glasses on. The writing's a little smaller on the back side, folks. Bear with me here. Okay, The Golden Road to Unlimited Devotion. Truckin, which I have on the other one. Rosemary, Sugar Magnolia, which I have on the other one. Stephen, Uncle John's Band. I like that song. Casey Jones, Mexicali Blues, Turn on Your Love Light, One More Saturday Night, and Friend of the Devil Again. So between those 2 albums, I can honestly say that I've pretty much covered all my favorites of the Grateful Dead, okay? So, all right, let's see. There's a few more people here. I've got a person backstage calling himself the Grateful Dead, and he's no longer backstage. And I got another person here calling myself Gene Hoglund. Well, I hate to do this to anybody I've never heard about.
No, he's fake. He's a troll.
Yeah, and if he's back, did you erase the link, Royce? Once you kick everybody out, if you erase the link, that should hopefully do the trick.
Sometimes, yes. All right. Well, you know what? Sometimes the chat is so far back, I lose 20 minutes looking for it. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Brandon's here. Thank you, Brandon. Good to see you. Link. There is the link, and it has been deleted. Thanks for the reminder, Chris. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's let me make myself normal again.
Oh, where'd Dan go?
Oh God, I don't know. I'm sure he'll be back. Dan may need a link again. I don't know what happened. Okay, so anyway, Dawson, go ahead. I'll let you speak on everything here for a minute. Hey, Dan, do you need a link to get back on? Come backstage. I know I didn't knock you off. I knocked off some unknowns.
Yeah, the Grateful Dead, they weren't just a band. They were a whole cultural movement that, as you were saying, they influenced the Haight-Ashbury movement. And they did have a couple solo albums out, but I think a lot of the fans that I've talked to, they're like, oh, you got to listen to the live stuff. You got to listen to like Inglewood 77. That's where it's at. And there's probably people who know way more about them than I do, and go to every show and stuff. But even just being at that one show in 2016, in the the tailgate party.
Dawson, I hate to interrupt, but Dan just let me know that I accidentally kicked him off because he was putting up a link to the show.
Oh,
Dan, I have a new link up. Go ahead and hit that and get back on here. Yeah. If you can hear me, Dan, I have a new link up. Look at that. Look at that.
Now delete that link once he's up.
Yeah, no, I know.
If that's even Dan.
Oh, God. Don't say that. Dan, how come you didn't come up? Let's try this again.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Dan, try to come backstage again, please. In the meantime,
is he still blocked?
Okay. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
try it again, Dan.
I was watching on YouTube earlier. There was the full extended interview for CBS does Sunday morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there was an interview with Bob Weir, and he was talking about just before they did their orchestral recordings.
Okay.
Just a few years back. And he was talking about like how he was already in the mid 70s and he didn't want to stop. He said, I don't know how to be lazy. He said, I'm always moving. I don't, said, I'm just as lazy as the next guy, but I don't know how to stop. And he was talking about how with the loose structure of the music that the Grateful Dead play compared to how tight you have to be for an orchestra, all those instruments have to be tight and precise. And he was talking about the struggles of trying to combine that. He was saying there'd be sections where the guitar and the band would just they'd have a little bit of leeway and then they'd stay tight with the orchestra again. He said it's interesting. I haven't seen any of the recordings from it, but I heard it was supposed to be pretty good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Dan is still blocked. And I didn't see anything on what I saw backstage that would have indicated it was him. So anyway, I'm kind of struggling here because I'm trying to figure out how to unblock Brother Dan. Okay, shit.
So, well, you do that. I can read some of out of the book, Royce, to cover.
Absolutely. Go.
Yeah,
for it.
Fire it up.
Yeah.
Everybody's complaining about the book, I hear. All right, here we go. All right, I'll just start from the beginning. This is going to cover some of what you were talking about, Royce, but let's go. The Dead started with Jerry Garcia, born August 1st, 1942. In 1959, he joined the Army, though he came out after 9 months and met Rob Hunter, who was to become the Dead's non-performing songwriter. They attended San Metro Junior College together, and Garcia started playing the coffee house circuits in San Francisco Bay. And then he was working at a record store. This is part of the interview that Bob Weir did. I was watching earlier. He said he happened to be just looking to play something. He was kind of, wasn't sure where to go. When he walked into the record store, he heard somebody playing a banjo. Turns out it was Jerry Garcia. And that was the first time they met. And then they just kind of, molded into best friends and eventually started the Warlocks, which turned into the Grateful Dead.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But yeah, it's they were playing stuff like or the San Francisco area around the same time as Country Joe McDonald and Jimmy McGinn of the Byrds. Then Garcia took a job at the record store, like I said, and that's how we met Bob Weir. And then they were also saying that some of the music was seriously formed out of LSD because of the LSD test at Stanford University. Some of the musicians and their friends and everything were all taking part of the tests. And the fact that LSD was legal in California up until 1966.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Dan, I think you're unblocked, Dan.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's the background to the group with the leading protagonist already assembled, provided a hint of the cross-fertilization to follow, which would help to create a thriving San Francisco music scene. The direct antecedents of the Grateful Dead can be traced back to Garcia's next inspiration, Mother McCree's Uptown Jug Champions. Hey, he's back.
Hey, that Wikipedia is the wrong one.
Daddy boy. Very, very, very sorry about that, brother. Oh my God.
Whoa, what a long, strange trip.
Yeah, what a long, strange trip it's been. Perfect, Dawson. Love it, brother. Man, I tell you what, is Dawson the future or what? I'm telling you. I'm going to start calling you the future. I think that's going to wind up being your handle down the road when we're all gone. Just remember us once in a while. Maybe throw up a little video or something.
Well, I wouldn't be up here without you guys, so it's all about rock and roll, and I like it.
Oh, I was just reading. Can I throw, while it's in my head, fresh my head here?
Absolutely.
Earlier in the chat, Dr. Insomnia was talking about some of the members who joined and how Mickey wasn't an original member of the band, and he wasn't. He actually, where is it? He came from, Billy Summers. Here it is. Initially, they played rock and roll, extending the chemical LSD. Oh, shit. I just lost track of it. Sorry, go ahead. I can't believe it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to.
It's 3 volumes wide, so I was looking, and I think I just lost track. So go ahead.
No, I just want to apologize to everybody that's watching and supporting us that accidentally lost Dan. Now, Dan, were you trying to put a link up to your?
Yeah, well, it's actually I had a video there, and when you blocked the video, I guess it blocked me. I'm going to bring that video back up again.
No, is this the entire show? The video?
No. This is 1967. I mean 1997. I was out in San Francisco, and I went to the Grateful Dead house. And
okay.
Got some footage of it.
Whoa.
Mickey Hart. Here we go.
So now, is that the video that says the Grateful Dead on it right now?
Yes, that's the video.
Okay. I'll add it to the stage.
There we go.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
There's no sound.
No sound. Okay. Right on.
But when I remember when I was standing there, I was thinking, how many famous people had sat on those steps? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Look at that.
Yeah, 710 Ashbury Street.
Oh, yeah, I love it up there, man. Those beautiful houses, just, I remember going there right after the Summer of Love, a couple of years after. It was crazy. It was still crazy. I mean, there was a whole lot of hangers on that, it's something like 100,000 people poured into that area during 1967 Summer of Love. And it was something else, man. We'd see them on TV at night. Everybody had bell bottoms. Well, thank you. I am one of us. I appreciate hearing that. Everybody had bell bottoms. Some of them had with a sewed on thing around the bottom, the colored band, and everybody had long hair. And it was just, and every night on the nightly news, sitting there in Henderson at about 16 years old and watching this, say, "Wow, that's pretty cool. I may have to get over there."
Now, I'd like to show something I got when I was in the military. Something I got in the military when I was overseas.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not a big Grateful Dead fan, but I did pick up. It's the only album I have by the Grateful Dead, and it's actually something that one thing that I did like about the Grateful Dead was, you got all these artists nowadays that they don't want you recording their stuff. Don't record it. Don't reproduce it.
I know.
Copyright.
Don't do anything. Yeah, exactly.
Grateful Dead didn't care, and they encouraged you to bring in your recorders, record us. So there's probably all sorts of music out there that we've never heard and probably never will hear, but people recorded on their own. But overseas, they make bootlegs. And this is a Grateful Dead bootleg.
Oh, nice. How does it sound, Dan?
I haven't listened to it in years, so I can't really remember.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a double album set, and you can see the Orient.
Okay.
I think that's Vietnamese.
Oh, Vietnamese, okay.
Yeah, I think I've only listened to it once. Let's see. Yeah, it's called made by Liming Record. I think they're Vietnamese.
Okay. Vietnamese. Wow. That's amazing.
What does it say on there? Yeah, long play. Okay.
Long play.
But it's a double set. And but bands like the Grateful Dead, they wouldn't go after bootleggers. If you want to do it, do it. They didn't care.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go back to something here for a minute, okay? So, all right. So, we're talking about Bob Weir, sadly passed away just yesterday, founding member of the Grateful Dead. And, in May of 2016, Weir was a guest speaker and performer for the second annual, get this, Einstein Gala in Toronto, Canada. An event, you've probably heard about this, Chris. An event, it's because this annual thing, honoring the legacy of Albert Einstein and new visionaries in the arts and science. Weir spoke about the science and the innovation and what it had meant to him. He also performed a solo acoustic set and was joined mid-set by guitarist Dan Kantner. In the same month, Weir also confirmed in an interview with The Guardian that he was writing a book. So there's a book out there because this dates back to 2016. Bob Weir's final band was Dead & Company. They concluded their final tour. Their farewell tour in July of 2023. but played residencies afterwards in 2024 and 2025. Starting to sound like a whole bunch of artists we know. With the final shows in 2025 marking the end to his legendary live career. They played 22 shows starting with the end of October, concluding with a 4-show New Year's run, including 2 shows in each of San Francisco and Los Angeles. Ending with a 3-set show on New Year's Eve. The band concluded its final tour on July 16, 2023 at Oracle Park in San Francisco. They had a lot of final tours. On January 31st, 2024, the band announced a concert residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas, Nevada, to begin in May 2024. While 18 shows were announced initially, the residency at the Sphere was extended to 30 shows. 30 shows ending in August 2024. So that's pretty amazing. That's a hell of a lot of shows, guys. And I don't know how the Sphere's doing. I hear different stories. Every time I turn YouTube on, I hear Vegas is collapsing, more casinos are closing, and then I'll try to find something I can actually read and see just how bad it is, and they're off 5%, 8%, 10%. That's not exactly a collapse. Who hasn't been off that much before? But we'll see how it plays out. But I know the Sphere is always being talked about. I don't know how many billions of dollars they spent making that thing, but I don't think it's been profitable. Okay, Michael Nolan says, my favorite Bob Weir charity was Little Kids for Rock. It was established to provide musical instruments for children free of charge. Great job.
You know what? That is the same charity that my event used to give money to.
You're kidding.
Little Kids Rock. Yeah, a guy named Dave Wish heads up that organization. And so the money we raised in my event, we'd give it to Dave Wish, and he would provide us with guitars for these schools here locally that didn't have enough money to provide musical instruments. So I think it was 2017. I think I gave out over 200 guitars.
You're kidding me.
The needy kids, yeah. About $60,000 with guitars.
I was kind of needy back then. Do you have an extra?
Yeah. they're all acoustic, and they were the smaller versions for elementary kids.
Okay. Well, a lot of the schools, and I don't know what happened to all the funding. I know when we established the California lottery, which has got to be bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars, they said, well, this is gonna. One of the ways they sold it was all that revenue was going to go to the schools, right? And now, they've been canceling all kinds of stuff, canceling music classes. And, music classes used to be kind of a standard in all the schools from elementary going forward,
one of the things about learning music, too, if you can learn, especially for young kids, if they can master learning music,
yes,
everything else in school comes easy, because music is hard. Yep. Music is hard. And so what it does, it helps the kids learn how to study. And everything else is easy after that. I mean, I guess in most cases.
Right. Well, I can remember even in elementary school, they passed out those little wooden blocks with a rubber pad on top.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of drumsticks,
Yeah.
Showing you how to play drums on this little block of wood with a rubber thing on top. Never got close to an actual drum. But, okay, StreamYard moderator. Anybody have any idea what that might be?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll go easy. I won't try to ban. I can just maybe just.
Yeah, don't pick on me this time.
No. I'm leaving your stuff. I'm leaving your stuff alone, man. What an embarrassment. Okay.
Speaking of embarrassment, can I make up for what I just was doing earlier?
Yes.
That I actually found where I'm supposed to be reading.
No. Go right ahead, brother.
All right. In 1967, their growing reputation as a live band won them a contract with the Warner Brothers, and they recorded their debut album, The Grateful Dead, over 3 days. It set out the basics of the band's music, though not particularly successfully. And going in the opposite extreme, they took 6 months to record their follow-up, Anthem of the Sun, released in summer 1968, which left them heavily in debt to their record company as they were way overscheduled. But at least the painstaking nature of the Dead's music was better conveyed. It was a critical, though not a commercial success. Even so, for a band with one good album under their belt and first-class reputation in live performances, they were securing very little media attention, possibly because the band, with their almost studious approach, lacked a charismatic personality. They had, however, recruited 2 new members, Mickey Hart on percussion and Tom Constantine, an old friend of Leish's, the bass player, who had written a symphony at the age of 13 and reputedly had an IQ of 170 on keyboards.
Wow.
That's Tom Constantine. So by the time of the 3rd album, with the palindromic title, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, Aoxa or whatever, they were seriously in debt to Warner's. However, things began to turn upward. In the beginning of 1970, they did the logical thing and made a double live album, since so much of their appeal was based on their live performance. And anyhow, who could resist the title Live Dead?
Right.
Then the album illustrated perfectly the new musical stance of the band. Songs like Dark Star and St. Stephen were lengthy extemporations, but fully conceived mood music. No one knew more about music to get stoned to than the Dead. Yeah. So there's more to go on after that, but I just wanted to read that because it backed up what Dr. Insomnia was saying earlier.
Okay, good. Dr. Insomnia, he's got a, it looks like a Jerry Garcia documentary. Yeah. Well, James Watson made a funny comment moments ago. I was talking about how we were supposed to have so much money for the schools if we went ahead and approved the lottery, which I would have approved regardless of. But, hey, I'm the Vegas kid, But what's crazy is James Watson made kind of a joke. They probably spent it on our bullet train. Billions of dollars have disappeared in that bullet train. I don't think we've laid a single track.
For Casey Jones.
Right, Casey Jones, right.
I'm not sure if that train I rode on over in London to Birmingham was a bullet train or not, but that thing moved.
Oh man, I know. I left London, but when we went to England, it was about going on 6 years now. But we got on that bullet train, went underneath the English Channel, and that's trippy, and went through France and Belgium and got off in Amsterdam. Boy, that was. Yeah,
we were going like 150 miles an hour on that thing. And when you pass another train going opposite direction, doing 150 miles an hour, and it's only feet from you, that's kind of scary, Oh, yeah. Woof, 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 woof.
Hey, you know what? I just remembered, I just put on my members only videos, a video of my trip into one of the little coffee shops in one of the narrow alleys in Amsterdam, where just about anything but coffees for sale. It was a fun little video. I was showing what was up on the board, what was for sale, and we were talking about it and stuff. And it was fun. And you can go to like almost anywhere in Amsterdam, and they sell mushrooms, magic mushrooms. But it's in those little coffee shops in the narrow alleys that you really get your eyes opened. It was a good trip, though. We visited so much stuff over there. We went to Venice, went out to a bunch of the different islands, stayed on one of the islands near Venice. And boy, I tell you, nobody makes better coffee than the Italians.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is like amazing. You just can't get enough of it. When a pal moves their lips are lying. No, I agree. And party affiliation has nothing to do with it.
Did you know that Bob Weir and Pigpen were both fired from Grateful Dead at one time?
No, I never heard that, Dan.
Yeah, they're both fired, but it's one of those situations where they say it didn't take because they were fired, but Bob Weir and Pigpen kept showing up anyway. And they said the Grateful Dead was such a non-confrontational type group that nobody questioned about it. So they just stuck around. The firing didn't hold.
Look at Michael. StreamYard does not provide StreamYard moderators, Royce. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the stench of a troll that's dumb. Yeah, boy, I tell you that there was a bit of a disruption here, but most of it was my fault for banning Dan from the show. Oh man.
But he didn't
Okay.
listen, so we're non-confrontational, so we had him back.
The block didn't take.
Now look at this. Joseph Blue put a link on my poll. I have a poll up. Your favorite. You go to posts. Under the Four Horsemen, and I put a poll up every week based on the show that I'm doing. Favorite album, favorite song, something, and then I put another something else up. Just a statement with a bunch of pictures that represent the show we're doing. So it's always interesting to go to and make a comment, and I'll answer your comments and make a controversial comment if you can. Ask a question. Those are even good. You pin
Hey,
on
Royce,
yeah.
what you have on there on the screen that Joseph Blue's referring to, that's the interview I was kind of referring to as well.
Oh, okay.
I watched that
cool.
earlier, actually.
Yeah.
It's a good one. If you watch the full one, you can see where the edits are, just the change in the quality of the picture, but it's the full interview.
Right. Okay. Well, okay. I got to do this. I don't want to forget to do the shout outs. People that actually donated this show last week. We had Michael Nolan gave me a super chat for $9.99. And my dear friend, Rock and Robin Bird _RB gave me a super chat for $1.99, which we call swinging the deuce hammer, $2. Anyway, thank you both so very much. I really appreciate it. And let's continue, guys. Chris, you were talking.
I was just referring to what you had on there for Joseph Blue. That was the interview I was talking about.
Look who I have up with the comment here. He's got the Grateful Dead logo there. James, San Francisco. Cheers from the Bay Area. I paid tribute to Bob at Happy Hill today. God, that's freaking awesome, James. I mean, thanks for showing up and thanks for saying that. I just want to say, folks, we have a like or thumbs up button. It's supposed to help us, get distributed a little wider audience. Go ahead and hit that. Would appreciate. Smash that like button. And if you're not already a subscriber, we have hundreds of shows, hundreds of rock and roll shows. I mean, anywhere from 6 minutes long to 3 hours long. You choose what you like. But there's tons of stuff there for you to enjoy, available to you at all times. And we also have a membership. And if you join the membership, we have exclusive members only videos for you to enjoy. But anyway, the main thing is come to the show. We like seeing you here. But again, if you're not already a subscriber, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. And thank you all, guys. All right. So let's see. Chris, do you have any more on the Grateful Dead? You got something in your book to read us? Or?
Oh, yeah, I can read some more. Like I was saying, they actually didn't start making money until the 70s. Their first two albums, they owed Warner Records so much music. It was after they released that the double live album that they actually started making money.
Okay.
Well, that and they had to fire their one manager. Said, what year is this? 1970. It says it had indeed been an eventful year. They had to file a charge of embezzlement against their manager, Lenny Hart, Mickey's father.
Yeah.
Mickey was naturally upset and left the band after the American Beauty album, though he did later rejoin.
No, didn't he embezzle like 17,000 or something like that?
Yeah. And members of the band, I can't remember which ones, but they were taking part of some university program talking about LSD and whatever. And when it was over, 2 weeks later, the band got busted by the DEA. Because they were talking about openly talking about taking the weed and whatever and LSD and this and that. And then 2 weeks later, the DEA raided their house.
Yep, the Grateful Dead house. Yeah. Now, after that embezzlement thing with Mickey Hart's dad, I believe Mickey Hart left the band for a while. I'm not sure when he left and when he came back, but evidently he did come back, eventually.
Yeah, they had been busted for a second time in New Orleans, and the threat of prison sentences were hanging over them. In addition, Constantine had left the band to devote more time to Scientology. And it says, on a more positive note, they played their first European date at a festival in England just outside Newcastle under Lyme. and had performed to enthusiastic audiences throughout America in a series of concerts with an offshoot band, New Riders of the Purple Sage.
Oh yeah.
In a promotion called An Evening with the Grateful Dead. This was the peak of the Dead's in-concert gestalt. They played marathon sets of 2 to 5 hour durations with a repertoire as varied as any band had managed. Not that what they played mattered, since the audience was usually too stoned to notice and or care. The Dead were the first band from the underground to make a massive institution, and they did it in their own terms. Each concert was more than a concert; it was a total experience, and it was more than a total experience; it was a whole way of life.
Joseph Blue just corrected me. It wasn't 17,000; it was 70,000 to 155,000.
Cool. I want to say thank you to he's up on the screen right now at James SF San Francisco. He just subscribed and hit the like button. Thank you, brother.
Nice. Thanks, James.
Be sure to join us on the chat, you know.
What was the name of that? What was the name of the band that Mickey Hart started on the side? Mickey Hart and the Heartbreakers or something like that.
There was another band where Bob Weir started about 10, 15 years ago. It was like something Wolf. It was like the Bob Weir and the Wild Wolf, and they do like
the Wild Wolf, huh?
Something like that. It's like an animal, and they do acoustic sets in between Grateful Dead shows.
Well, I know Mickey Hart started that side band because, you know, Grateful Dead were known for going over 20, 30 minutes nonstop on a song.
Yeah.
Just playing with no vocals, nothing, just playing, you know. And Mickey Hart got kind of tired of that, so he wanted to try something else, you know, besides that. So that's when he started this side band. But it seemed like what I remember reading that some of the members from Grateful Dead started going over to his band, and it's basically the Grateful Dead again, you know. So
yeah.
Well, that's great. You know, I wanna give a shout out, and I don't know who all the names are, but I know James from San Francisco. But in the last hour, I've received 5 new subscribers.
Oh wow!
And so thank you all so very much, and we really appreciate it. We've had a little bit of a drought here with subscribers lately. I don't know why. You're either getting them daily or you're not getting anything. We've had a little bit of a drought. So I really appreciate each and every one of you that have subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. Okay, Lenny Hart embezzled approximately $70,000 to $155,000 from the Grateful Dead while serving as their business manager. God, he's worse than a boxer's manager. He disappeared with the funds in March 1970. Was later arrested in 71.
You know, that is such a big story with so many bands back in those days.
Yeah, they all
so many bands Grand Funk got ripped off. I mean, so many bands got ripped off by their managers.
They toured like crazy and wound up broke at the end of the year. You know? Yeah, no, they did get ripped off by their managers. Horrible.
You needed more managers that, like Peter Grant. I mean, he did some questionable things with Zeppelin's money, but he was always honest. The band was first.
Well, you know what? They agreed to what he wanted, and he was worth every penny of it. He protected them. He really protected them.
Sure. Like, there's not too many managers throughout classic rock that you can think of that did for their band what Peter Grant did for Led Zeppelin. Not only Led Zeppelin, but for Marianne Faithfull, Bad Company. He was Bad Company's manager, and the Yardbirds at the end.
Yardbirds, yeah. That's how him and Jimmy were, you know, united there at the end. You know, they went and seen Robert Plant together. They went to Atlantic Records just to meet with Ahmet Erdogan to try to get a record label. After Jimmy had already paid for all the recordings, they didn't want to be at the mercy. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that right now. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. Like James Watt just said, 2 managers that never ripped anybody off was Brian Epstein and Peter Grant.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. I love Peter Grant's part in that that Led Zeppelin movie, right? Song remains the same. The part where he was playing a gangster, I mean, that was just great.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. I'm gonna have to watch that again real soon because I really like it.
Or when he cornered the promoter selling the fake T-shirts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I don't know what it is with this whole gangster thing. Maybe it's because my mother was from New York, and she was the only one. She was the only one of 9 kids that weren't born in Italy, and came over on the boat. And then they all worked as union organizers. One was a secretary treasurer of a Teamsters union back there. And I don't know, I just feel it's like kinship with the whole gangster thing. So when I see something like that, or The Godfather, or Godfather, I mean, I can't watch The Godfather enough. I mean, honestly, Godfather 1 and 2 in particular, one of the only series where the sequel was at least equal to the original. I can't say that for 3, but 1 and 2 were just maybe the
3. I'll just come out and say it. 3 suck.
Yeah. Okay, well, all right. Let's carry on with the Grateful Dead. The sad thing is, guys. I mean, Bob Weir was 78. Jerry Garcia died several years before him, and the pace is just quickening. When these guys started hitting their mid-70s and stuff, and a lot of them, burned the candle from both ends. They drank a lot. They used a lot of drugs, up late at night after their shows. And, it's to me, it's almost a miracle that some of them have lived as long as they have, because some of them have really abused their bodies down through the years. But I mean, you know what? This is going to be a decade here that we're gonna lose a lot of them. It's going to be very sad.
Yeah.
Because now my wife found a group of 10 artists, new artists, okay, that are out touring, and they're kind of great bands. I mean, we sat there and watched this show together on YouTube TV, and they were basically, if you like Led Zeppelin and bands like that, you'll like a lot of them because they were good, and they were original, they were good, and maybe there's some hope out there. It's hard to replace these people. How do you replace the Rolling Stones? How do you replace the Beatles? How do you replace Led Zeppelin? How do you replace Black Sabbath or Ozzy solo? I mean, you can't. But who knows what'll come along that for the younger people will be their Led Zeppelin and their Black Sabbath, and we'll just have to see. Maybe we won't be here to see it. Dawson will. Dawson's the future. Okay, Michael Nolan, congrats on the new subscribers, Royce. You deserve every single one of them, brother. Why, Michael Nolan, thank you so much. Appreciate all that you do, brother.
Yeah.
And you had a great show tonight. If anybody hasn't seen or doesn't even know who Michael Nolan, the bottom line is, you need to go look him up, because Michael's got a great show. Numbers don't lie. He's got the numbers. He's got a great show. So go find Michael Nolan, the bottom line, and go check out his channel. You're gonna instantly want to subscribe. Okay, he's got so much to watch. I mean, it's a great show. And I've got, just below me is Just the Facts Man, Dan. He just got back from England, London, and Birmingham. He's got a video up on his channel right now. Everybody needs to go to Just the Facts Man and look up that video and watch it. You'll really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Oh, that big bull and that.
Oh yeah, Ozzy the Bull.
Ozzy the Bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that thing is huge.
2.5 tons and 33.5 feet tall.
And they were going to destroy it or something like that.
Yeah, it was built for some type of games that they had over there.
Right.
And Birmingham is their mascot is the Bull, Birmingham Bulls.
The Bull, yeah.
So they built the Bull. So when the event was over with, they wanted to disassemble it.
Right.
Then the community said, no
way.
We got to keep that. That's a pretty cool looking thing. So they decided they had a contest, what to name the bull. They ended up naming the bull Ozzy. And, so now it stands in the Birmingham New Street Station.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about, folks. That show has so many cool and fun surprises in it. You've got to get over there and check it out. Just the Facts, man. Another hard to find. Go ahead.
Of course, another thing I did when I was over there, we're talking about new music. All the older bands are slowly fading away.
Right.
Well, there's a couple of bands in the UK I'm watching right now that are really, really good. One of them is Black Eyed Sons.
Absolutely. Of
course, we interviewed Paul on this show back last summer.
Yes.
And another band called Dirty Strangers, and the Electrics. The Electrics are pretty good too. I saw all three of them live in London. And of course, I'm friends with Paul, so I got to meet everybody and all the bands.
Yeah, I know. And that's
and Alan Clayton, he's the singer for Dirty Strangers. And that's Mick Jagger. Not Mick Jagger. That's Keith Richards' best friend. So I got to hang out with Alan all night long, which is really cool. So I'm in contact with Alan now.
Cool. Yeah.
So I got some insider contacts there in London now.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Did you eat any good Indian food while you were there?
I didn't eat a whole lot. I ate I ate breakfast at the hotel. I ate a pizza down the street once. I didn't do a whole lot of eating. I was so busy the whole time. I had such a time constraint on my schedule that I was busy from early morning till that. That's why I was almost glad. I was glad to finally get home because I was exhausted. And of course, the last day I was there, packing up ready to come home, that's when the flu hit me.
Well, that's right. That's why.
I'm just so glad that flu hit me the last day I was there, not the next day.
Oh, that would have been horrible.
I mean, I wouldn't have been able to. I would have been stuck in London. I was too sick, but I got out just in time. But so I brought the London flu home with me. If that's what they're calling it.
Right.
That's nasty stuff too, man. You don't want that flu.
No, boy. Dan, I really enjoyed being over there. There was no back to the beginning, so there was, didn't go out to Birmingham or anything like that. But if I went now, I'd definitely go out to Birmingham.
It's pretty cool too to see the Crown Pub over there. That's where the place of heavy metal, where it all started.
Right.
And not just with Black Sabbath, but with Judas Priest, early Robert Plant bands played at the Crown.
Yeah.
And that's directly across the street from the train station. So when you leave the train station, the pub is right there. It's not open, of course. It's under renovation. Well, it's right now just closed up. They're going to do some renovation on it and open it back up.
Gotcha.
It's such a historical site.
Well, hey, if you worry, you don't have to worry about eating. Just go have a pint of Guinness, and it's a steak in every pint.
Yeah, I want to bring up something here. Somebody I hadn't seen on the show before, Sugar Daddy Vinyl. Hey, thanks for showing up, brother. Just sub to the channel. Rest in peace. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'll just throw that out again. Please, out there, folks, hit that like button, the thumbs up button. Don't just hit it. Smash it. Just don't break your computer. And if you're not already a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. There's a whole bunch of fun videos to watch. Seriously, several hundred rock and roll oriented, and a couple other playlists, tours of famous places where we go to places like Haight-Ashbury. We go to Clint Eastwood's ranch in Carmel, and then down to the Hog Breath Inn, the bar and restaurant he owned for 27 years. And I go in there, man, I'm just looking for a good time, and I'm cutting up with the employees. It's like, Clint been in lately? And they're like, oh, he was in last night. And I could hear everybody kind of chuckling. They probably tell that to everybody. I'm like, well, what kind of a guy is he? And the guy goes, he's the best guy in the whole world. And he came in and he signed my check so I could get my money. And we're all into, this just went on and on and on. We're all laughing and stuff. But so there are playlists other than just music, like the tours of famous places that you would enjoy as well. Because we've gone all over the place, with that. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll just continue here. And let's see. Michael Nolan, the bottom line. Welcome, Sugar Daddy. Yes, Sugar Daddy. We really appreciate seeing you here. James, we really appreciate you seeing you here. And thank you both for subscribing. That's just
35 Grateful Dead shows.
Totally awesome. I saw 35 Grateful Dead shows, all in California, 80s and 90s. 2 New Year's shows. James, that is just amazing, man. Dan, wow. Oh, God. Well, you know what? The Grateful Dead, there's just so much history there, one of my favorite stories is, the Grateful Dead shows up, at the airport to go to the Woodstock where they're getting ready to perform. And he looks over and there's the band that opens for him, Santana. There's Carlos. And he goes, hey, Carlos, come on over. And Carlos goes over and he goes, hey, Carlos, you and the band want some acid? And Carlos says, no, Jerry. We don't know when we're going on. And Jerry goes, "Ah, don't worry about it. I'm not going to go on for about 5 hours. You're going on after me." Oh, okay, we'll take some. So, I mean, keep in mind, Santana opened for the Grateful Dead on their shows, okay? Didn't have a single album out. The reason they were able to get in is because Peter Grant was their manager. Peter Grant.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, so they're in there. They're sitting in a little room. You know, they figure they got 5 or 6 hours before they're going on, and they're just completely just messed up on LSD, just frying. You know, seeing everything. And somebody knocks on the door, and I go, and steps in and goes, "Santana, you're up." Some of the people couldn't get in, and they're like, "Oh my God!" And they went up and put that, you know, I mean, festival stealing performance on. It was just absolutely incredible. Nobody that ever saw that didn't wind up being a Santana fan. We were all Santana's fans the day after watching the movie Woodstock, you know, right after the show was made. But anyway, it was that's one of my favorite stories about the Grateful Dead, Jerry Garcia. And they had problems on stage at Woodstock. They had problems. There were some electrical issues and stuff. So anyway, all right. Well, we'll continue here. Grateful Dead, Woodstock.
You know, you said that they told you that they weren't going to go on for 5 hours. Well, I'll tell you what, man, you're going to do some acid. You better not have anything to do for the next day, let alone 5 hours.
Well, I didn't want to say it and start giving shit away. But no, I hear you completely. It's like, am I ever going to come down? I think this is it. I'm done. We go to the mental ward. Anyway, just trying to interject a little humor here, guys. James, San Francisco. I learned a lesson. I met Bill Graham at the airport while picking up my dad. Oh yeah, Bill Graham. East and West. Okay.
Fillmore.
The Fillmore. I just bought another Fillmore album. Fillmore.
Yeah, in fact, Bill Graham.
Humble Pie. I just bought that.
Yeah, did Bill Graham book the Grateful Dead for the first time at the Fillmore? I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah. They played. He booked everybody. He was huge, but then it started turning into more studio with more money to be made, and they just had to close those shows. But you know, he was a perfectionist, and he demanded perfection, not only from himself, everybody that worked for him, and everybody that performed for him. And I have a Fillmore East album collection, and it just grew the other day because I found Humble Pie at the Fillmore East, and I bought that. I was hoping Steve Marriott's on it, who was the first person to be offered the job to sing for, the New Yardbirds and later Led Zeppelin. Don Arden got a hold of that and asked Jimmy Page how he'd like to play guitar with his fingers all broken. So that ended the Steve Marriott thing, and it moved to Superlungs, Terry Superlungs Reed, who recommended Robert Plant because he was getting ready to go on tour with the Rolling Stones and one other band in America. He was getting a lot of traction with his solo career. And so he said, no, he goes, if you can wait for me, I'll come and play with you. And Jimmy Page had those Scandinavian tour dates to fulfill for the Yardbirds. So they branded themselves the New Yardbirds after he put everybody together and they took off. But he did offer, Terry Superlungs Reed was so highly regarded, he did offer to pay for everything he would have made on that tour with those two American bands. He offered to reimburse him for that. And Terry turned him down. So I don't know how he felt about it later. But I think he had a decent career because he was very popular. Okay, so here we are. Jimmy Page often sounded like he was playing with his fingers. Hell in a Bucket by Bob in the Dark, 87 is rocking. Well, that's cool, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So anyway, guys, any closing statements here? We'll probably close a little bit early tonight. I just want to say that I've enjoyed Grateful Dead. I was out at the Pozo Saloon a year ago or so. And the Pozo Saloon every year would have Willie Nelson and friends. And when you drove out there was like a dozen of the most beautiful buses you ever saw parked along the road there. Because it's out in the middle of nowhere. This is cowboy country. All that's out there is alfalfa ranches and things like that. But Willie Nelson and friends would come out there every year. And I got to see them out there once. I also saw, believe it or not, Snoop Dogg live out there just doing some hardcore rap. I mean, it was no 50 Cent and no scantily dressed girls. It was just him up there rapping. I got to see let's see, Marley, not of course not Bob Marley, he was already dead, but it was his one of his sons, one of the more popular. They're all singers, but this was I can't think of his first name right now. But we
Jacob Marley.
no, not Jacob, no, no. But we were there, me and Travis, this friend of mine, and somebody walked up that was part of the venue and goes, "You two are invited to the after party with Marley," and we're like, "Yes." We don't know how that happened. We're pretty damn happy about it. And they canceled the after party, but I was looking forward to it. Can you imagine a Jamaican after party?
Someone say, was it Ziggy Marley?
Ziggy, thank you, Ziggy Marley. Thank you so much. So anyway, I just want to say that I'm sorry I never got to see the Grateful Dead. I would have loved to have seen them. Really cool how some of our new friends have how many times they've seen them. And over to you, Dawson. Do you have any closing statements to make?
I was wondering if you guys know, like, how if you know someone who's taken like magic mushrooms, like how many people have had bad trips, how many people have had good trips.
Well, the magic mushrooms, I can't say, there's a whole bunch of crazy stuff going around back in the day. People would sell you mescaline, and you knew it was just like a capsule with some kind of filler and just a little bit of acid. This is not as harsh as acid. This is mescaline. No, it was a lighter dose of acid. So you never knew what you were getting back in those days. But I have to admit, I did try mushrooms just one time. We went to a Jimi Hendrix impersonator concert in Pismo Beach, and boy, I tell you, my body was just like, it was more like a body trip than a head trip like acid. But it felt fine. I mean, I felt fine. I wasn't like freaking out or anything. And I walked up the lobby because the guy that took us to the show, and let's see, the guy's name that was doing the show, it was he's a well-known Hendrix impersonator. He's still out there today. And this guy could practically, maybe it was what I was on, but he could practically climb the walls and play Hendrix, at the same time. What was his damn name? I just can't think of it. Every once in a while I'll see him online somewhere. But so I walked up to the lobby because the guy that took us kind of disappeared. And I get up there and I look up and the security all has him and they're tossing him around a little. And they go over and they throw him out the front door. And I'm like, holy shit. So he might have been having a bad trip. I don't know. At least it ended bad. I just went back to my seat and finished. Oh, Hansen. The guy's last name was Hansen. If you look up, I can't think of his first name, but Hansen, a Jimi Hendrix impersonator, he is really, really good. I didn't think anybody was going to be that close. So anyway, I don't know anybody that's had a bad trip really on mushrooms. Like I said, when I was in Amsterdam, they sold them like everywhere. They're legal to be sold off the shelf in Amsterdam. So they don't really consider them a really hardcore drug at all over there, like most things. Okay, the first Grateful Dead album is my favorite. Right on, Piccolina. All right, so let's see. In hell, mind you. Yeah, me and Bubba, Billy Clinton did it in hell.
All right, Royce.
Yeah.
Myself, I've never seen the Grateful Dead, and don't know if I would honestly. Well, I'd probably be interested just to say I saw them.
Oh yeah, me too.
Just to go back and see like the classic lineup. But as far as improvisational bands go, if I'm going to listen to a live band, listen to Zeppelin, some of their, like Dazed and Confused and, Whole Lot of Love and stuff like that.
Right.
But in a more relatable way to the Grateful Dead would be something like listening to the Allman Brothers. When they, go into long medleys and everything, except with the Allman Brothers, they got the two guitar players and they play off each other. And I find there's a lot more energy there. I find listening to some of the Grateful Dead extended jams, if you're not, if you don't have a cup of coffee with you, you're going to fall asleep halfway through unless you are in that specific mindset.
Yeah.
I just find it too mellow, too just. I want to. If I'm listening to a band and they're on stage and going back and forth, and then it's exciting. But if you just get one long guitar solo that never changes for 20 minutes, I mean, come on. And I'm not.
Well,
I'm being harsh. I mean, it's not that bad, but compared to something like listening to Leonard Skinner, they're two guitar players playing off each other, or
Right.
the Allman Brothers, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And Dr. Insomnia says the first Dead studio album rocks. I'm going to have to find that because I want to hear that.
This is kind of like what you're talking about, Chris. That's like this double album that I've got, this bootleg. They got one song, one whole side. It's called The Other One. It's almost 19 minutes long. I don't mind long songs, but when one song is an entire side of an album, there's a few about Rush is that way. I like Rush. They've got a couple of 2112. It's kind of that way, but
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Grateful Dead almost sounds like they're up there just improvising. Yeah. It's not. Can they play that same song twice? I mean,
no, probably not. since it's all improvised. But
yeah,
Dr. Insomnia saw 30-something Dead shows between 85 and 90. Wow.
That's
man,
amazing.
That is. Are you a dead? You're obviously a Deadhead. Did you have a Volkswagen van?
Well, a friend of mine that's a good friend of mine that's a Deadhead. We texted Dave talking about this, and he's a diehard Deadhead, and he said since Bob is gone now, he said anything that goes on after this is a tribute band. He's so you only got one original guy left. Although some people count Mickey Hart, but but the original founding, there's only one original founding guy left. That's the drummer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, it's basically a tribute band now. Although some of those guys have been, that are in that lineup have been with the band quite a while.
Yeah, James San Francisco, new subscriber tonight, is asking me to please reach out to Big Steve. I don't know if he knows about this show. It would be great to get him on the show. I would love to do that. How do I find Big Steve, James? Is there does he have a YouTube channel that I can go to and find him and tell him James sent me? Or if I can find a way to get to him, I will. It sounds great. Thank you. Big Steve. Okay. I predict tribute concert for Bob Weir with Mickey Hart being the anchor point. This will happen before 2026 is up. Okay, Kimberly, you can put away the crystal ball now. That's great, Michael. That's great. I'm peachy keen over here, Dr. Rick. Thank you. How are you? Kate. Anyway, by the way, guys, Caitlin Stoddard, Kate's Magical Corner. She goes twice a week. And Dawson sitting next to me is often a co-host. Last time I was there was somebody I didn't know, but Dawson is often a co-host. And they do a great job. Kate's very knowledgeable. She writes stories for people on concerts. People hire her, to write stories, newspaper, magazine type people. So she's really cool and she's a lot of fun. And the show is called Kate's Magical Corner. Check it out. Like I said, she goes twice a week, kind of in the afternoon around 11, 12 o'clock. Right, Dawson?
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Yeah, thanks for being here, Kate. Novice Nick, you have to also enjoy bluegrass. Yes,
yep.
Bluegrass is cool. Yeah.
Royce, I just looked up
Douglas Gilbert.
I just looked up that Big Steve.
Big Steve?
His name is Big Steve Parrish. He's on Facebook.
Okay. Big Steve, how do you spell his last name?
Parish.
Okay.
And it says he's a Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia band crew, personal roadie to Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir, author of Home Before Daylight, host of the Big Steve Hour.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Big Steve.
Okay, yeah, we will definitely look up Big Steve. Awesome. Thank you for that. Douglas Gilbert, when you listen to the Grateful Dead, you just relax to their music. You just relax and get into it. Awesome. Well, you know what? Thank everybody so much for coming to the show. We're going to be, oh man, I got a lot of chat to get through. I don't like to leave chat messages unlooked at. You know, they sound almost like a garage band on the first album. Pigpen sings great. Well, that is amazing. Good call, Michael. All right, guys. When I get to the end of the chat, we're going to be signing off. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, just go for it. James, I had 69 camper, 74 bus. Not back then though. It was in the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, I had a minivan. James Watson, okay, right on. Dr. Insomnia, not a major deadhead, a diehard deadhead. There's at least 100 shows.
There you go.
Dickie Betts came out and jammed with them for the last few songs. Awesome. I had never heard that John Mayer was playing with that very last band that he had. That's yeah. I'd like to get one of those albums now. Mayer is a great. I don't know if he's an underrated guitar player. He's probably, I mean, everybody knows he's a great guitar player. Look up Big Steve. He was the roadie. Awesome. Thank you so much, James. I really appreciate you being here and subscribing and everything else. And I don't do drugs. Good. Nobody should do drugs. They're horrible. Zep Pearl, evening, gents. Chicago checking in. Zep Pearl, brother Zep Pearl. Go check out Zep Pearl's channel. As the name might indicate, he's really into Led Zeppelin, but he covers all rock and roll. He's a great guy, does a great job on his shows. I did a show last week on the Yardbirds and the three iconic guitarists, Clapton, Beck, and Page. And Zep Pearl sent me a message saying, "Hey, brother, come check out my latest show on the Yardbirds." There's still a band touring the Yardbirds, you know, and Zep was pretty happy with them, you know, and I'd like to see him now. I have John Mayer backstage. Wow. Guess what? I just banned John Mayer. I hate to tell everybody that. And later on, he's going to contact me saying, "What the hell did you do that for?" And I'll be like, "I'm sorry, John." Zep Pearl, Angela.
Zep Pearl.
Okay. Zep Pearl. Vance is his name. He's got a great show, and he's a really good, down-to-earth guy. Go over and check him out. You will enjoy his show. I'm a big fan of bluegrass. Yeah. We'll be praying. Dr. Rick. Thanks, Kate. Chris Elliott. Hey, who's Chris? No, kidding. Our esteemed panel member. That's who Chris Elliott is. Okay, welcome. Every time I think I'm getting close, I'm not close. Hi, Zep Pearl from Kate. We like Zep Pearl. He's a good dude. I wish you all the best, Wayne Melodica, to James. And James, I must have missed some comments, busy up here running my mouth. But if you're suffering, brother, I'm very sorry, man. I wish you all the best as well, James. I really, Dr. Rick. Yeah, Dr. Rick.
Yeah, for sure. Like always, throwing out well wishes and prayers to everybody who needs them.
Exactly. Watermelon Ormsby. Yes, I am a big fan of Big Steve Hour. Well, that's great. So I'll say one more time as I'm getting through the chat. Please hit that like button. Helps the show get distributed to a wider audience. And if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And if you want that bell icon that pops up with it, and you'll get a one-time notification of all the new shows that are coming on. And we have a lot of great videos for you to watch. And I think you'll enjoy it if you're a subscriber. Thank you. Thank you all out there. Thank you all so much. Appreciate everybody. So I mean, class, yes, but not original. Okay. Great show tonight, everyone, from Chris. I hope you all stay safe and careful. Always send love and well wishes. Okay, cool. I must find the Santa. That's definitely a Kate's Magical Corner inside joke there. You know, I'll never understand how I get I think I'm keeping up with the chat, which is never an easy thing. It shouldn't even be a goal because there's just too much going on when the show's going. Jerry's last song was a Bobby tune. Bobby's last song was a Jerry tune. Michael Nolan, hey Vance, yeah, Vance is our brother. Vance is our brother. There's no doubt about it. I've been to 100 plus. Yes, I've probably been to 100 plus Dead shows. That's Waterman Ormsby. Wow, I'm so impressed. I am so impressed.
That's a diehard Deadhead.
Zep Pearl, thanks for us. You're quite welcome. Yeah, well deserved, brother. Yeah, exactly. Rampage video, Tatanka.
Tatanka.
Tatanka. That's funny.
We can say here.
Robin Bird, awesome stream, Horseman. Thank you so much, Robin. Appreciate hearing that. Hey, Michael Nolan, the bottom line. Fans. Jim McCarthy is the only original member of the Yardbirds left. Okay. John Mayer has been a member of the Dead and Company since the band formed. That's what I read. Yeah. Marking nearly 11 years with the group as of 2026. Yeah, that's great. What a wonderful collaboration that is, Joseph.
Yeah. Walter, as soon as you put that, or Dawson, sorry, Dawson Walter. All right, Dawson, once you put that Tatanka, I just had a flashback to Saturday Morning Wrestling, WWE. Tatanka, yeah.
Sunday morning.
Well, he used to be a WWF wrestler, and he'd be on like weekend mornings and stuff.
Yes. Tatanka lives on.
That's right.
Well, folks, we're getting near the end, but it just keeps growing. And I appreciate. I love all the comments. I really do. And don't be afraid to go down to comments below and leave some comments that I can respond to later. If you want to ask a question, kind of, in the comments, that generates a little more interest. We get more people coming into the comments, answering the questions, stuff like that. So we like comments. We like questions being asked in the comments. We do what we can. Very cool, Waterman. Yeah, Waterman's been to 100 shows. Wow, that's dedication, Dwayne. Absolutely right. Michael Nolan. What? Strange Tatanka.
Come on, I'm changing color here. I'm turning red.
Okay, no, quit that. Should have been on the panel. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll take a
Breadheads.
100 Deadhead concerts on the panel anytime.
I guess I'd be a Breadhead. I love Bread, the band Bread, but I never saw them in concert. Never saw them in concert. They weren't around long enough.
I never saw them in concert. I was too busy chasing Black Sabbath and stuff like that.
I only know one song from them, and that's Guitar Man, I think, right?
I like almost every song they put out. There's actually a mellow side to me too. I like heavy metal, but I like the mellow
I do too. Me and my wife listen to a lot of mellow stuff. We'll be on YouTube TV and we'll find these mellow playlists, mellow rock playlists, and they're on almost every night,
I mean, I'm a big Carpenters fan. I love the Carpenters.
Yeah, the Carpenters are cool. Yeah. Love Bread and America. Yeah.
I've seen America twice in the past 3 years.
Wow. I saw them about 5 years ago at Casino.
I hit the like button twice. Thanks a lot, Sugar Daddy Vinyl. All right, guys. So we've reached
Sugar Daddy Vinyl's a troll.
Who is?
Sugar Daddy Vinyl.
No. Well, anyway, we're just going to sign off. And thank you guys. Thank the panel. I really appreciate you guys being here and being a part of this and carrying the show. And I want to thank everybody in the chat. Thank all the new subscribers and everything. And everybody that's hit the like button too. But you know what? The most important thing to me is that you come to the show and you enjoy it and you interact with us. That means a lot. It really means more than all the other things I mentioned. So Watermelon Ormsby. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. And that's what's going on in Royce's world tonight. Thank you once again for joining.
All right, everybody. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Peace out.
Let me see if I can shut off properly this time. Not have to come running out from the living room if somebody sent me a text. Okay, somebody called Grateful Dead down there. And we have just okay, they're gone. They ran off. They ran off before I kicked them off, All right. Thanks everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.